Hello, everyone. Today I'll be talking about the movie The Girl Who Escaped, the Kara Robinson story. This 2023 film is based on a true story.
You will always call me Daddy.
Kara Robinson wakes up at her best friend's house. The girls are planning to go to the lake, but before that, Jess needs to water the flowers and take a shower. She asks Kara to help so they can finish the chores faster. Kara goes outside and starts watering the lawn. At that moment, a car pulls up to the house. A stranger gets out of the vehicle and approaches the girl. After realizing that no adults are home, he takes out an object resembling a weapon and forces Kara to obey. He then leads her to the car and forces her into a blue container. Meanwhile, Jess finishes her shower and steps outside, but she doesn't see her friend anywhere. The stranger drives to a deserted area to immobilize his captive. He opens the trunk to get a rope, and at that moment, Kara tries to escape. However, her attempt is unsuccessful. Understanding that resistance might not be the best option, she decides to follow the kidnapper's rules. The man ties her hands and puts a gag in her mouth. Meanwhile, Jess calls Kara's mother and tells her that Kara is missing. The kidnapper takes the girl to his house, removes the gag, and demands that she stay silent. He then leads her to the bedroom and starts asking questions about her family, school, and personal life. He also insists that Kara call him Daddy and emphasizes that she must follow all his instructions. Later, he forces her to lie on the bed, removes her top, and then takes her to the bathroom. During this time, Kara tries to memorize as many details of her surroundings as possible. Meanwhile, Kara's mother contacts her father and informs him of their daughter's disappearance. She then reports it to the police, insisting that Kara wouldn't have just run away. However, the officer believes that the girl likely left on her own and will return soon. The kidnapper gives Kara one of his t-shirts and continues talking about himself, mentioning that he used to serve in the Navy and now works with machinery. He enjoys talking about himself, and Kara decides to remember as much information as possible. The man assures her that if she behaves, she will soon be free. Later, he offers her a cigarette, but she refuses. He then reminds her that she must follow all his demands. During the day, they watch TV together. Kara notices cages with animals and tries to learn more about the kidnapper's work. He tells her that he no longer serves in the military but works with compressors. Kara continues memorizing every detail. The man assures her that he will release her soon, but wants to watch a movie with her first. In the evening, Kara asks for permission to use the bathroom. He allows it but keeps the door open and watches her closely. When she wants to wash her hands, she has to ask for permission. Later, the man prepares to cook dinner, but Kara refuses to eat, which angers him. To avoid conflict, she offers to help with cleaning. The man agrees and allows her to sweep the floor. While cleaning, Kara approaches the refrigerator and notices a dentist's phone number on it. She tries to memorize it and also pays attention to a calendar with notes. Meanwhile, the man watches as she sweeps the floor, then suddenly demands that she take off her t-shirt, emphasizing that she must follow his rules. Meanwhile, Kara's mother goes to the police station. She tries to convince the sheriff that her daughter could not have run away from home and insists that they immediately start searching for her. However, the sheriff assures her that there is no need to worry. He believes the girl will return home soon. The man and Kara sit on the couch again. He turns on the news and tells her that the police haven't started looking for her. He tries to convince her that her family and friends don't care about what happened to her. Suddenly, he becomes aggressive, orders her to stand up, and sends her to the bedroom. Then he tells her that he needs to make a phone call and that she must get into the container and stay silent. He gags her and leaves for another room. Kara begins to have a panic attack, making it difficult for her to breathe. The man returns, notices her condition, and removes the gag. He warns her that if she screams, the consequences will be irreversible. A few minutes later, he enters the room again and tries to calm her down, explaining that he has experienced panic attacks himself and knows how unpleasant they are. Then he gives Kara a pill, assuring her that it will help her feel better. Late at night, Kara notices the man opening a strange chest. Then he says it's time for bed and orders her to lie still in the bed. After that, he restrains her hands and feet and goes to sleep. In the morning, Kara wakes up first and decides to try freeing her hands. She manages to do so. Then she carefully stands up and slowly moves toward the exit. Gently opening the door, she runs outside and rushes toward the road, where she spots a passing car. Kara stops the vehicle and asks the two men inside to take her to the police and to remember the apartment number she escaped from. When Kara arrives at the police station, she tells an officer that she was held against her will. She states her name and explains that she managed to escape. Lieutenant Rowland asks her about what happened, and Kara details how the stranger kidnapped her, threatened her with a weapon, and kept her in his home. Sergeant Jenkins tries to find out from the two men where they picked up the girl, but they only remember the street, not the apartment number. The lieutenant informs Kara that her mother reported her missing 17 hours ago. He then calls her mother to inform her that Kara has been found. When Kara's mother arrives at the station, she can't contain her emotions. Kara asks her to take her home. The police officer asks Kara if she remembers where the kidnapper's apartment was. She replies that she isn't sure, but can go to the area and try to recall. The lieutenant says this could help with the investigation. Upon arriving at the location, Kara is unable to immediately identify which apartment she escaped from. All the houses look the same. The police decide to ask the local residents. They stop a man and describe the suspect's appearance. However, the passerby replies that many people in the area fit that description. Then Kara remembers that the kidnapper's apartment had many animals, and there was a large poster of a wolf on the wall. When the man hears this, he immediately realizes who they are talking about and provides the apartment number. The police head to the location. Meanwhile, Kara's mother arrives at the station, furious that her daughter was taken to the crime scene. However, Kara soon returns and reassures her. The sheriff arrives at the suspect's apartment and orders a raid. However, the man manages to escape before the police arrive. Sergeant Jenkins asks Kara to tell them everything she knows about the kidnapper. The girl remembers that he served in the Navy a couple of years ago and that his wife is currently at Disneyland. She also mentions that he had a parrot named Clyde and that she memorized the name and phone number of his dentist. Additionally, she reveals that the kidnapper had anxiety issues and was seeing a psychiatrist. The police are amazed at how much information Kara managed to retain. These details will help them track down and bring the criminal to justice. A doctor enters the room and Kara must undergo a medical examination. She asks that this moment not be discussed with her mother. Meanwhile, the police find women's clothing in the kidnapper's house. This suggests that Kara may not have been his only victim. Posters with the suspect's photograph are put up all over the city. Sheriff Price arrives at the police station where Kara's mother had previously filed the report. He informs them that the wanted man had already committed crimes against several girls and that Kara could have been his next victim. He doesn't understand why Sheriff Stefanski didn't begin the search on the first day. When Kara returns home, the neighbors gather to support her. She dislikes the attention, but Sergeant Jenkins visits her and explains that people just sympathize and want to help. However, Kara doesn't want to feel like a victim. She is a strong person and intends to live her life as before. Later, she tells her mother that she plans to meet Ryan in the evening, but her mother forbids her from leaving the house. Kara doesn't understand why she should change her life because of what happened. She refuses to live in fear forever and just wants to be a normal girl. However, her mother is too worried and cannot bring herself to let her go. Meanwhile, the suspect's wife arrives at the police station. She claims she doesn't know where her husband is and refuses to believe he is guilty of any crimes. However, soon after, the suspect's sister arrives and reveals that he recently called her and is currently staying at a hotel. The police immediately set out to arrest him. Sheriff Stefanski arrives at Kara's house, but the girl is not happy to see him as he had refused to search for her. He tells her she needs to be careful because the criminal is still at large and may return. He also reveals that the man had kidnapped several other girls before her and none of them survived. However, Kara refuses to be afraid and demands that the police do their job. Soon, Sheriff Price receives word that the suspect has escaped from the hotel. However, the police are already on his trail and are about to catch him. He is amazed that a young girl not only managed to escape, but also helped the police track down the criminal. The sheriff visits Kara's home again to inform her that the arrest will happen soon. He tells her that she shouldn't see herself as a victim. She is actually a hero. He thanks her for her help and promises to update her when everything is over. After their conversation, Kara gets ready to go to a baseball game to support her boyfriend. However, her mother once again refuses to let her leave the house. Kara insists, saying that she won't allow what happened to take away her normal life. She then leaves and heads to the game. Meanwhile, the police locate the suspect. After some time, he appears on the street and a chase begins. The officers manage to catch up with him, but at the last moment, he pulls out a weapon and makes a fatal decision. Kara returns home, but her mother doesn't tell her what happened. The next morning, the woman finally reveals the truth, and Kara gets angry that she wasn't told right away. Later, the sheriff visits them and apologizes for keeping the information from her. Kara admits that she isn't angry at the police, but at the kidnapper. She wanted to look him in the eye before he was sent to prison. However, the sheriff tells her not to dwell on it because the criminal knew he had been defeated by a young girl. Kara realizes that she won't have to testify in court now, and her mother can finally be at peace. The sheriff notes that he has never met a girl as strong as her and declares that he would have no hesitation in recruiting her for the police force.